Many years ago, I had a dream. It was my dream, and I believe that hunger is absolutely unacceptable. To act now, we got to do something quick, and we can do it, and it is doable, and there is no barrier to entry to use this technique.
Farmers of our country unite, for we have nothing to lose but our chains. For we have nothing to lose but our chains. 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 To lose but our chains.
Guys, our mission at CV Hydro is basically to improve agriculture and horticulture, and using scientific methods, and at the same time using inexpensive methodologies to be able to produce food. So we are basically at CV Hydro soilless agriculture specialists, and we help people to do not only just commercial farming using soilless technology, but we also aim at helping people to grow food in their homes. CV Hydro believes that the food is a human birthright. Good food is a human birthright. It has nothing to do with a person's ability in terms of his money and things like that. So it should be affordable and of high quality, so that people are healthy and become more productive. In this process, CV Hydro is aligned with, our mission is aligned with the government's mission to double farmers' income by 2022, and we are already have worked on turmeric, and we have proven that it is possible to not only just double, we could even quadruple turmeric farmers' profits. So the Mission Turmeric 2021 has been launched in January this year, and we are headed towards the first harvest. We have almost 20 growers and 20 people on the Watch and Learn group, and we are looking forward this year's harvest to be exemplary. In the coming year 2022, we shall be having many more people coming into the commercial area, and we are going to be proving it on a commercial scale in the year 2020-22. So we are all gung-ho about our Mission Turmeric 2021. It's very well aligned with what we want, helping farmers to get the maximum profits and make farmers much richer than what they are. Thank you.
Don't risk losing the photos and videos from your phone. This innovative device makes it easy to back up your smartphone in seconds.
मिशन का नेता रुक सकता है, लेकिन मिशन को मनुष्य की दृष्टि की ओर आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। आप मिशन हल्दी 2021 के मशाल वाहक हैं। आपके बिना मिशन आगे नहीं बढ़ता है। यह अब तक का लंबा सफर रहा है। सीवी ने बात करना शुरू किया और प्रतिभागियों ने हाथ मिलाया। आइए एक नजर डालते हैं अब तक के सफर पर। यह सब सीवी के विचार के साथ शुरू हुआ जब सेलम हल्दी पर R&D शुरू करने का फैसला किया। अल्केमिस्ट की तरह उन्होंने मिशन हल्दी 2021 का नारा दिया, जब उन्होंने सेलम हल्दी की गुणवत्ता और उपज के कुछ मापदंडों के साथ सफलता हासिल की। हमने 120 से अधिक छात्रों को प्रशिक्षण देते हुए 11 महीनों में 7 बूट कैंप पूरे किए। नोएडा में बूट कैंप इस पहले सीजन का आखिरी था। हम 2022 में कटाई और कटाई के बाद के कार्यों और विश्लेषण को पूरा करने के बाद बूट कैंप फिर से शुरू करेंगे। हम आधिकारिक तौर पर तारीखों की घोषणा करेंगे। यह अंत नहीं है।
Prior coming to this, I don't have any knowledge on turmeric and how it goes and everything. But however, this 4 days, we got an introduction of what turmeric is, how do we grow from the conventional perspective, and what are the difference that it makes in a hydroponic way, soilless cultivation. And we also learned about how do we do the pest control and everything, getting to a quality turmeric product.
It has been an awesome experience. The way CV sir has, explained everything to us, I cannot imagine anybody could do that way. So I am so thankful to him, and I hope unka आशीर्वाद हम पर हमेशा रहे. Thank you.
Actually, I started the turmeric boot camp 3.0. Actually, it's a very good session. The series are explained a lot, which I can understand more what I earlier. Actually, they started with how to plant and still the harvest time. What is the process of growing the different stages of the plant? We understand more on how to adjust our EC, pH, then how to sanitize our the cocoa peat, even the seed of the turmeric. And yeah, it's a very good learning. I prefer everyone to go with learning and start the journey of turmeric plant.
मेरा नाम दीपक है। मैं 4 दिन से टर्मरिक बूट कैंप अटेंड कर रहा हूँ। इट इज़ वेरी 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 गुड फॉर मी, क्योंकि मैंने प्लांटेशन स्टार्ट कर दिया है। जो चीज़ मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही थी, जो चीज़ मैं वीडियो देख के नहीं कर पा रहा था, वो सर के साथ रह के बहुत ही इजीली सीख पाया। सर का जो टीचिंग का मेथड है, इट इज़ एक्सीलेंट और इट इज़ ग्रेट फॉर मी। Thank you.
The need for it to start at a small basis is he wants our foundation to be really strong, so that we don't do mistakes. And it's not like a guide, you follow this and you can just start your program. So basically he wants us to learn from the basic foundation, build us on that. It will take 1 year for us to completely understand what the soilless agriculture is, and after that, when you gather your experience, clear all your questions, then you can go on a commercial scale if you need. I found that it's right on the spot.
The content is absolutely mind-blowing. For beginners who are into or who are interested into soilless farming, and for experts who are already into soil-based farming, for both I think it was kind of a exercise. The content was kind of an exercise where it leads you to brainstorming how to get into it. It is not like discouraging. Many of the programs that I have attended, pushes you,
It restricts you.
whether to go for it, whether not to go. But at least it is encouraging to at least try.
Right.
So that is what the content was. If you ask me to give a feedback about how the trainer was coming from an army background, so it will be very much disrespecting that way. I can't see any of the army professionals giving a bad way of training. So it was very much disciplined, organized, very well planned as far as the content release is concerned. And it was associated with this farm visit, a small shade room experiment visit. So that was kind of a collected year. I am unable to attend the tomorrow's visit, the commercial farm visit, but I think it was very well done.
At the training camp, we were actually taught almost all the steps on the soilless cultivation farming for turmeric, and we meet a lot of people from different states, so we get to know each other. And here the main thing is every aspect of the soilless farming for turmeric has been taught, and we are taught how to use selection of the cocoa peat or the seed, how we plant the seeds, okay, how the root zone analysis is done, okay, how the water has to be given, and several other factors, including the net house, selection of the net house, or how the temperature plays a role, how the irrigation plays a role, how the nutrition plays a role in getting a big, good yield when compared to the soil farming. So that is why I recommend personally that we must attend such camps so that we will know what it is and then do a trial on our own, maybe a 500 square feet or 1000 square feet before we go into the commercial farming.
The best part was the teaching part of the CV sir. CV sir, unlike from other teachers, he does not teach us about the learning part. He actually makes you understand that learning is an experience every day, each day. So every day you have to go to the farm, you have to look at after how do you have to look at the turmerics like they are your own child, and take care about them so that they are always healthy and they give you the desire.
And I think I made a right decision of searching for a mentor who is an expert in this field. And luckily on Google I found out CV Hydro, I found out CV Prakash sir. I read his blogs and I was totally convinced that I should be mentored by him. And yes, even though I'm late by a couple of months in growing, but I at least have a very good exposure to the growing phase, like how the seed has to be properly treated, how the copied quality has to be checked, how the turmeric crop grows in different stages. Right now it is in the vegetative state, but from a seedling or from the shoot to a proper healthy crop, it's like a journey of a kid, like from a 1-month-old kid to a 9-month-old kid. You see a lot of changes in a kid. It's very similar to that. And even now I'm learning. I'm seeing I'm facing a lot of challenges, and I'm tackling it with a lot of positivity, and that comes from CV's Prakash sir.
Sir doesn't spread a rosy or lucrative picture about hydroponics and all. He talks about the real things, which are the real economics, how the real science behind soilless farming and all. So we have gained a lot of knowledge from this workshop, as I am a grower since 2 years, but the techniques, the science behind which I learned and I experienced over here is phenomenal. And yeah, CV sir has been like an inspiration for me, and I want to take all this knowledge from which I gained from this workshop directly to my state, which is very like farmer prone state, and there are a lot of farmers over there, specifically turmeric farmers, and we will be working with them to revolutionize their farming industry over there in Odisha.
I really connected with the Mission Turmeric. I find the crop as a very fascinating crop, and the boot camp experience of the last 4 days was an eye-opener. I learned a lot of things which you generally don't learn on the internet, and I got to know about the ground reality, and we did a lot of practical experience over here also. And the key takeaway was networking with like-minded people. You get to meet more people who want to do the same thing, and I think that is a resource that is very valuable. So along with knowledge, you get to network, and you also build relationships with people who can help you to do what you want to do next. In my case, I would like to immediately start with a pilot project so that it helps me learn and I have the right skills to do something.
Very happy to have heard from CV sir that the progress is very well, and I'm on the right track. Hopefully in the next 4 months, I'm expecting which is also kind of we were able to notice it based on the zoom analysis that we did. So I would expect a good yield, and definitely thank CV sir for all the guidance and consulting that he has provided in the past 6 months. And I will once again thank CV sir for organizing the boot camps in Chennai and visiting my terrace farm for practicals. Thank you.
Turmeric farmers will definitely come. Market will be there. Definitely, he is showing everything. Not only growing part, he is even giving importance to the commercial aspect also. I definitely got very good knowledge out of this boot camp 2021 turmeric. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Capturing and motivating.
Thank you.
Helpful and gaining theory knowledge which can be implemented practically later.
This boot camp which I visited has opened my eyes, really, because it's in a very scientific way. The boot camp and I have learned so many things.
Being a farmer, it has become like this that I am starting from the ground zero.
To come and learn this truth. It is not available anywhere. It is available at this, क्योंकि एक वेटरन है, एक एक्स सर्विस पर्सन है, जिसने झंडे के नीचे ये कसम खाई थी कि मैं इस देश की मिट्टी के लिए अच्छा ही करूँगा, और वो कर रहे हैं। इससे ज़्यादा मैं और क्या कह सकता हूँ, शब्द मुंह से नहीं आ रहे, दिमाग में तो बहुत है। वो आज देश की सेवा कर रहा है और ऐसे लेवल पे कर रहा है कि जो मंत्री संतरी नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन आप खुद कर सकते हो उनकी मदद से। मैं तो कहूँगा ऐसे गुरु सबको मिले।
अभी तो क्रांति की शुरुआत है। इस मिशन के अधिकांश क्रांतिकारी उत्पादक 500 या 1000 वर्ग फुट प्रत्येक की पायलट परियोजनाओं पर प्रशिक्षण ले रहे हैं। हमारे पास वॉच एंड लर्न प्रोग्राम में 20 प्रतिभागी भी हैं, जो एक हाइब्रिड दृष्टिकोण से गुजर रहे हैं। उत्पादकों और मिशन पर हम सभी अब फसल के मौसम के करीब आ रहे हैं। कुछ उत्पादक जनवरी 2022 में और कुछ फरवरी 2022 में फसल लेंगे। कुछ उत्पादक ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने सीजन में देर से शुरुआत की और वे मार्च या अप्रैल 2022 में फसल लेंगे। इस पूरी यात्रा के दौरान अब तक हम कुछ अद्भुत, साधन संपन्न और सुंदर लोगों से मिले। हम उनमें से कुछ के साथ काम कर रहे हैं ताकि इसे और अधिक व्यवहार्य, सार्थक और अधिक लोगों को आरंभ करने के लिए सशक्त बनाया जा सके। हम एक बहुत ही खास प्रोजेक्ट द टर्मरिक एंड जिंजर फूड पार्क पर भी काम कर रहे हैं। हम आपको इस और कई अन्य दिलचस्प तरीकों के बारे में अधिक जानकारी साझा करने के लिए जल्द ही वेबिनार में आमंत्रित करेंगे। राजीव के साथ अपना व्हाट्सएप नंबर और ईमेल पता देना न भूलें। बेझिझक उनसे कॉल या व्हाट्सएप पर 8879989999 पर संपर्क करें। कई लोग जुड़े हुए हैं और मिशन को बढ़ावा देकर इस यात्रा में अपना योगदान दे रहे हैं। क्रांतिकारी उत्पादक और वॉच एंड लर्न प्रतिभागियों के बिना यह मिशन अब तक नहीं पहुंच पाता। हम इस पल में क्रांतिकारी उत्पादकों को धन्यवाद देते हैं। वॉच एंड लर्न प्रतिभागियों कोर टीम, जिसमें श्री अशफक पिंजारी, श्री मिलन शाह और उनके गुरु डॉक्टर श्री जितेंद्र कदम और डॉक्टर श्री हसन शामिल हैं, एकजुट रहने के लिए और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण रूप से समय समर्पित करने और मार्गदर्शन और ज्ञान साझा करने के लिए फिर से तहे दिल से शुक्रिया। डिजिटल मीडिया योगदानकर्ताओं को धन्यवाद, जिन्होंने इस दुस्साहसी मिशन के बारे में जागरूकता के बारे में लेहर प्रभाव पैदा करने में हमारी मदद की। द हिंदू तथा द बेटर इंडिया के कवरेज ने एक बड़ा प्रभाव डाला जिसकी हमें उम्मीद नहीं थी। वे सभी जिन्होंने व्यक्तिगत रूप से मिशन हल्दी 2021 के बारे में प्रचार किया, हम आपके आभारी हैं। अगर आप अभी तक इस दुस्साहसी मिशन में शामिल नहीं हुए हैं, सोशल मीडिया पर हमारी अब तक की यात्रा का अनुसरण करते हुए आपने जो कुछ देखा और अनुभव किया वह केवल हिमशैल की नोक है। क्रांति में शामिल होने के लिए हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं। यदि आप 2022 या 2023 में अपना खुद का वाणिज्यिक मिट्टी रहित हल्दी फार्म शुरू करने में रुचि रखते हैं, तो हम कॉल या व्हाट्सएप पर हमसे जुड़ने के लिए आपका स्वागत करते हैं। आप राजीव से संपर्क कर सकते हैं। राजीव से बात करने के लिए डायल करें 8879989999। हमारे पास आपके लिए एक बहुत ही स्पष्ट रोड मैप तैयार है। मिशन से जुड़े। जय हिंद।
CV Hydro believes in one very important philosophy, that is, know-how is of no use till you do how and show how. So we started our journey in Mission Turmeric last year. In 2020, we did amazing amount of research and development. We came out with some astounding results in terms of very high quality turmeric, and we launched Mission Turmeric in 2021 January this year. We have all close to 20 to 23 growers on the group, and we also have watch and learn people who will also be entering into pilot projects very soon in 2022, by 2022 May. So we have not only just done something for we haven't just done something for research and development sake. We believe in taking lab research findings into the field, and as you know, we have already got we are already waiting now in January 2022 for results to come from 23 different growers around India. And I urge everybody to look into turmeric, because turmeric is a spice that is much in demand. The demand has gone up, and after COVID-19, the worldwide demand has gone up by almost 40%. We are not here to teach you how to grow turmeric, but we are here to basically teach you how to grow world-class turmeric that will bring you good remuneration in the market. So not only in the domestic market, but also in the international market, where the demand is just climbing, every single day. So having said that, I would ask all of you who are interested in getting into farming or already into farming to get into soilless culture, soilless growing of turmeric, so that you will be able to double or triple your profits. Having said that, CV Hydro is fully armed, fully ready to help you, and we welcome all of you to call us at any time to know more about our mission. So therefore, I would request all of you to call Rajiv. His number is 887-99-89999, and Rajiv will be very, very happy to help all of you in your mission. So having said that, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to everyone. I am in Australia right now on a short business cum pleasure sojourn, and I should be back by the end of January. But you can keep calling me, you can keep talking to me, you can talk to Rajiv, who will give you all the inputs as necessary.
हॅपी बर्थडे.
तुमच्या लक्षात होतं?
नको, वास येईल.
तुमच्या एका फुलाच्या बदल्यात 1000 फुलांचा सुगंध.
हा तर खूप आधी धुतला होता ना.
नवीन व्हीलची लिंबांची शक्ती मळ काढते आणि यातील हजारो फुलांचा सुगंध देतो दीर्घकाळ फ्रेशनेस. पुढच्या वेळेस बुके हवा.
1, 2, 3, go.
How's the Josh? Hi sir. How's the Josh? Hi sir. How's the Josh? Hi sir. Jai Hind. Jai Hind. How's the Josh? Hi sir. How's the Josh? Hi sir. How's the bloody Josh? Hi sir. Thank you. Ready? Sure. देश की तरक्की कैसा हो? हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो. देश की तरक्की कैसा हो? हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो. देश की तरक्की कैसा हो? हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो. जय हिंद. जय हिंद.
We the warriors of Mission Turmeric 2021.
We the warriors of Mission Turmeric 2021.
Hereby pledge to do our pilot soilless turmeric project. Under the aegis of CV Hydro's tutelage. From 1st May 2021. For 9 months. We promise not to use any chemical pesticides. Give all the feedback to CV Hydro, so that we will be able to increase the yield, have no heavy metal traces, have the highest curcumin content, have 100% saleable material, have 0% bad microbes, have the best nutritive value, the least fertilizer residues, and make a world-class turmeric
make the world-class turmeric
worthy of export.
worthy of export.
देश की तरक्की कैसा हो,
हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो,
देश की तरक्की कैसा हो,
हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो,
देश की तरक्की कैसा हो,
हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
Unite, for we have nothing to lose but our chains.
So, I'm from Guatemala. This is a public service announcement. That is where Guatemala is. Also, that is not where they keep the prisoners. That is called Guantanamo. Not the same place. So Guatemala is right below Mexico. And for the Americans in the audience, and let this sink in because it really applies in most ways. For the Americans in the audience, you can think of it as Mexico's Mexico. Just like the US doesn't want illegal immigration from Mexico, Mexico doesn't want illegal immigration from Guatemala. It's a smaller country, it's a poorer country, and, well, what can I tell you? It has much better Mexican food. Guatemala is a very poor country. And a lot of people talk about education as something that brings equality to different social classes. But I always saw it as the opposite, as something that brings inequality. Because what happens in practice is that people who have a lot of money can buy themselves a really good education and therefore continue having a lot of money, whereas people who don't have very much money barely learn how to read and write and therefore never make a lot of money. And this is especially true in poor countries. Now, I was fortunate that I received a rich person's education, even though I didn't grow up rich. And it's because I'm an only child. And my mother, who was a single mother, spent all of her resources on my education. And this allowed me to come to college to the US and eventually get a PhD in computer science. Now, because of all of this, about 10 years ago, I decided I wanted to do something that would give equal access to education to everyone. Oh, by the way, this is what I want to talk to you about today. Giving equal access to education to everyone. At the time, I was a professor of computer science at Carnegie Mellon University, and I decided to work on this with my PhD student, Severin. The way my brain works, all of education is just too general of a problem. So I decided, let's start by teaching one thing. And then I started thinking, okay, well, what should we teach?
Many years ago, I had a dream. It was my dream, and I believe that hunger is absolutely unacceptable. To act now, we got to do something quick, and we can do it, and it is doable, and there is no barrier to entry to use this technique.
Farmers of our country unite, for we have nothing to lose but our chains. For we have nothing to lose but our chains. 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 To lose but our chains.
Guys, our mission at CV Hydro is basically to improve agriculture and horticulture, and using scientific methods, and at the same time using inexpensive methodologies to be able to produce food. So we are basically at CV Hydro soilless agriculture कैसा हो,
हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो,
देश की तरक्की कैसा हो,
हल्दी क्रांति जैसा हो।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
Welcome to the Mission Turmeric 2021. The Orange Revolution is here.
Okay, what is the Mission Turmeric 2021? Please tell me more.
Mission Turmeric 2021 is an audacious revolution, aligned with the Government of India's aim to double farmers' income. With CV Hydro's R&D and under the aegis of CV, the pioneer of Indian soilless farming and hydroponics, the Mission Turmeric 2021 can even quadruple the farmer's income.
And how is that related to turmeric? Why turmeric?
Turmeric, also known as curcuma longa, is a cash crop. Turmeric, the miracle plant, existed since the dawn of time. It's a multi-purpose crop and plays a vital role for culinary, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics industry. India is the largest exporter of turmeric to rest of the world. The shelf life of processed turmeric is great and lasts up to 3 to 4 years. The most crucial ingredient that comes from turmeric is called curcumin. This ingredient is in demand for producing several medicines. Due to its medicinal properties, it helps people as anti-inflammation cure, heals wounds, and it is even claimed to be a cure for cancer. There are so many unknown ways of using turmeric. Vast majority of population, who were under the attack on their immunity amidst COVID-19, started switching to turmeric consumption in different ways. The demand for turmeric in mid-2020 went up by 30%. The prices shot up beyond the sky, and it said that Indian cannot meet the supply requirements. This calls for a crop innovation. Mission Turmeric 2021 will bring the Orange Revolution. Ayurveda has been using turmeric since more than 4,000 years. Now you see why CD launched this mission?
Yes, this is interesting. Please tell me more.
Sure, I'll be happy to tell you more. The latest price update about turmeric we heard was in early 2021. It touched 290 rupees per kilogram for dried and polished turmeric. Imagine the product variants that can be created from wet to dried turmeric. Now, let's take a look at the mind-blowing results CD achieved. Let me take you back to where this journey began. Rewind to February 2020. CV Hydro, with the pioneer of Indian soilless cultivation, embarks on an audacious turmeric R&D mission. 100 grow bags filled with cocoa peat as media. Tiger Claw Salem turmeric finger rhizomes planted. Each bag seeded with 60 grams of seed. The following results blew everyone's mind. Watch on.
Okay.
The first premature harvest came out with 4.45 kilograms of wet turmeric from one grow bag. The second premature harvest came out with 6.44 kilograms of wet turmeric from single grow bag. The third regular harvest came out with 8.1 kilograms of wet turmeric from one grow bag. And all this from the grow bag size of 12 by 12 by 40. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable.
Yes, you're not the only one who said that. Wait till you know about the mind-blowing lab report. And CV wasn't happy with the yield, and he thought this could go beyond 10 kilograms. It was not just Tiger Claw Salem turmeric, but CV focused on the most popular variety, Lacadong 2. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, CV got the seed rhizomes of Lacadong very late, and so there was a delay in planting it. Although the seeding was late, CV still managed to get approximately 4 kilograms of Lacadong turmeric during the harvest from one grow bag. And now, it's time to look at what lab report said. Let's go. Before I tell you about the amazing lab report, I want to draw your attention towards soil-grown turmeric. It will help you distinguish between the traditional and the soilless turmeric that is going to become the world-class premium turmeric. The average soil-grown turmeric that is laced with pesticides and fertilizers doesn't produce more than 700 to 900 grams of turmeric per plant. Even the organically grown turmeric doesn't give more than 300 to 500 grams per plant. You also have to wait for 3 years to prepare the soil bed using organic growing methods.
Oh yay. I am a traditional farmer and I do understand it. I have no idea about soilless turmeric and I keep hearing a lot about hydroponics and soilless farming. Please tell me more.
Sure, glad to know you are aware of understanding the difference between soil-grown and soilless turmeric. Now, let's look at the lab report. No heavy metal traces. Near zero microbiological contamination. 5.91% curcumin content as opposed to 3% in the soil-grown Salem turmeric. That's the result which gave birth to this Mission Turmeric 2021. The proof of concept for the world-class premium turmeric. Have you seen this in the soil world?
No. This is amazing. Mind-blowing for sure. I am so curious to know how to start cultivating soilless turmeric. I want to join this mission now. Please tell me how.
Yes, I will be happy to onboard you. Before I do that, I want to tell little more about how the mission was launched. I also want to tell you about the core team and the end-to-end roadmap with last-mile connectivity support for all interested participants. Ready?
Sure, please.
Okay, so after the amazing lab report that came out, CV decided to launch the mission. It was initiated by welcoming people to an open webinar. The first of the 3 webinars was conducted on January 24, 2021.
कुछ दिनों पहले मेरी मॉम दुबई आई। उन्होंने मुझे एक बात
CV invited more than 2 lakh people on and offline. 170 odd interested and serious people joined the webinars from Jan to February. The next step for the participants who are interested to learn how to cultivate soilless turmeric was to undergo the 2 days online soilless turmeric cultivation program. On the webinar and training program, CV shared endless possibilities that branches out from this mission. All those who completed the online soilless turmeric cultivation program were free to connect with CV to plan their pilot project. The pilot projects were of 2 sizes of growing area. For learning practically and becoming a confident grower, to launch your commercial pilot project, you could either go for 500 or 1,000 square feet pilot project. The smaller pilot project is a launchpad for starting your commercial pilot project in the subsequent year. The larger pilot ranges from half to 1 acre growing area. This is recommended as a commercial pilot project for the participants who wants to join the mission. If you want to start recovering your investment with your first pilot project in a faster way, then you should go for commercial pilot project.
That's great. I am happy to know that I will not only get to learn how to grow world-class premium turmeric, but I also get to start my own pilot project. It must be a huge financial investment, I believe. Can you tell me how much do I have to invest to get started?
Yes, you will learn to grow this world-class premium turmeric using the soilless cultivation methods. Once you complete the training program, you can then connect with CV one-on-one to plan your pilot project. Just like to start any other business, investment is essential to get started. Here on this mission, this investment is going to be priceless for the rest of your life. It gives you the wings to fly freely into the world of soilless farming and hydroponics. You can thank CV later for that. For more detailed information about investments and pilot project details, please reach out to CV Hydro. Dial 88799-89999 and talk to them. Write to them by sending an email to askcvhydro@gmail.com. Get more info on the official website of the mission. Visit www.missionturmeric2021.cvhydro.in. To know more about CV Hydro, visit www.cvhydro.in. Hoping to see you join the mission soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am going to reach out to CV Hydro to sign up for this amazing mission.
We, the warriors of Mission Turmeric 2021,
We the warriors of Mission Turmeric 2021
hereby pledge to
hereby pledge to
do our pilot Soilless Turmeric project
do our pilot Soilless Turmeric project
under the aegis of CV Hydro's tutelage
under the aegis of CV Hydro's tutelage
from 1st May 2021
from 1st May 2021
for 9 months.
for 9 months.
We promise not to use any chemical pesticides, give all the feedback to CV Hydro, so that we will be able to increase the yield, have no heavy metal traces, have the highest curcumin content, have 100% saleable material, have 0% bad microbes, have the best nutritive value, the least fertilizer residues, and make a world-class turmeric worthy of export.
Come on,
How's the Josh? Aye, sir! How's the Josh? Aye, sir! How's the bloody Josh? Aye, sir! Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
Tractor, handheld equipment.
Hey, good evening, Oliver.
Good evening. I'm the first or second. As we wait for the others, I will want to post that we are on.
Yeah, we are just waiting for CV to join, and all those guest participants who registered to join this webinar, we are waiting for them. Let's give it another 5 more minutes.
Don't worry, I'll just post in my group that we already on live so that we can proceed.
Okay.
Okay, not worry, I'm just there on standby.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Candid moments, no? Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Rajiv and I have with me Mr. Oliver and Commander CV Prakash. And this is an amazing, beautiful evening. We are live right now streaming on YouTube for Kenya and the rest of Africa. All those who have received the YouTube links are watching us live right. We expected a few more people, I mean, about just over 10 people who registered to be part of this session for this awareness session about Mission Haldrak, which is soilless turmeric cultivation. And in Swahili, turmeric is called as manjano, if I pronounced it rightly. So we are going to create a lot of awareness on this session. Stay tuned. I'm going to quickly introduce Oliver, Mr. Oliver. I'm sorry, I won't be able to pronounce your last name. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm going to call you Oliver for this evening. Thank you for joining in and thank you for setting this up for the VIPs and citizens of Kenya and the rest of Africa. Thank you so much. Mr. Oliver is the Chief Executive Officer of a company, of an organization, an esteemed organization in Kenya called as Agro Tunnel. And he is also the M advisor in Africa. And I would request, I would like to take a lot of time and read out his entire profile, but I'm going to make this easy and I don't want to steal the light here. So I'm going to request Mr. Oliver to start this session with a little bit about his journey. And then moving on to, he could introduce how he connected with CV Sir, Commander CV Prakash, and a little bit introduction about CV Sir. And then we can kickstart the session by CV Sir. We will open it out to him and he will take us through the journey that he started and would lead us to what we are currently focusing on for all the participants who are watching us live on YouTube, whoever is interested in turmeric, whoever is passionate about manjano. This session is for you, all the related businesses, industries, curcumin extraction. If you guys are passionate about wet turmeric, dry turmeric, any of it, this session is all about you. This session will give you amazing insights into how you can boost your yield of turmeric by doing it CV Hydro's way. So this session is organized by CV Hydro. The host for this evening is Oliver, who's going to introduce CV Prakash sir to everybody. And he will take us through this journey ahead. So, Mr. Oliver, I request you to share a little bit about your journey, and then you can introduce CV sir, and then we can kickstart this beautiful session.
Thank you very much, team. And this is very exciting. Good morning and good evening for the rest of the people who are joining. We were to have a quorum of very many members, but I believe people will be joining in before the end of the session, and we will have some introductions some conclusion and question and answer later on. So I would like to, sorry, let me just change my camera because it was showing the other way. So I need to switch my camera back. So thank you. I'm Oliver Ndego. I'm an engineer of telecommunications, but I'm also a farmer. So today's meeting, I would like to mention something very interesting, that I started this journey of turmeric some time back when I was sick, and that created the need for me to get medication. And one of the medication I got was to manage blood pressure. I started managing with turmeric, because I saw the Ayurvedic concept in India. And with that, it helped me to start thinking about why are we not promoting this turmeric? Now, because you mentioned the word manjano, that's a more deep Swahili of Tanzania. Turmeric in Kenya is known from the 70s as pinzari, the yellow powder that is used for cooking. But now, because I got interested with this turmeric, I registered a company called Turmeric Kenya Limited. And from Turmeric Kenya Limited, I started pioneering this turmeric product. And then I got incubated by Kirdi. Kirdi is a Kenya research institute of government. From that incubation, I developed turmeric tea, which is now popular. Right now, we're talking about something called dawa tea in Kenya, which is popular in the restaurants and hotels. Because of this, turmeric is not very known in Kenya. I started looking for people who are experts. And the people who are experts are coming from India. So this means I have to get the expertise from India. So in India, I brought in a lot of samples and a lot of products from India to support me in marketing the turmeric. So I partnered with my friend Ranjit Bansali in Uganda, where we've got about 20,000 acres doing turmeric and lemongrass and other crops. So I've been bringing in my products to Kenya to support my people in Kenya. And I noticed the turmeric can manage arthritis, can manage blood pressure, it can manage all elements that people have. Then later on, I realized it's also managing people who are doing livestock like poultry for colloquidosis, wounds, and some management in our livestock. Now, with that said, I thought it would be very good to bring in Indian expertise. And I did a lot of research and I found a lot of people doing soilless farming and soil farming in India. And I saw, because it's very popular, I saw India is a world-leading producer of turmeric. And with turmeric, I approached a company called Sabinsa, a Samilab, who are extracting curcumin from turmeric, which means they gave me an order and requested me to get curcumin content level of 4.3. So many people here in Kenya don't understand the curcumin and the turmeric. So that's why we are bringing in CV, who has got a lot of knowledge in this meeting today to support us and to make us understand. Now, this journey, I'm looking at the next 5 years to see how we can make it popular. After COVID, the other year, we noticed many people are doing a concoction of ginger, etc., but they were missing out on turmeric. So there's going to be a demand soon and in the future of turmeric, ginger, and other herbs to manage elements that people are having. So with that said, I want to dwell in more on cultivation of turmeric. And to have this information, we must get the experts from India. And that's why we are having CV Hydro today. And I would like to throw the floor to CV Hydro to now start the session, because I don't eat. We have very limited time for this discussion. And the interesting part is soilless farming of turmeric, where we'll see the benefits. And I want to mention, in August, we were inviting CV Hydro for practicals with an organization called Horat Africa in Karen, whereby we will have practicals. But before even the practicals, we'll be having models of training whereby we will be inviting farmers who have already invested in starter kits and also who are going to invest in this concept for a benefit. So later on, before we close the meeting today, I will give a closing remark and how we're going to proceed. But first of all, let's give the time to our friend CV in India or in Australia to proceed, because I've just taken his 10 minutes from the time from the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so. Thank you so much, Oliver. Thank you so much for your information and some insights that you shared from your journey. I would now request Lieutenant Commander C.V. Prakash ji to kickstart this session, and let's bring the sunlight, let's bring the light to the world of soilless turmeric cultivation, starting with your little bit of your journey, and then we can move into the subject for this session.
Hello, everyone. Good evening from India. It's always a pleasure to speak about my favorite subject and my most passionate subject in my life, which is soilless agriculture. I started my journey about 24 years ago in Australia, learning this beautiful science of soilless agriculture. I learned for about 8 years, and after that, I moved to India in 2008, and I wanted to teach my countrymen soilless agriculture. Uh, I was always very certain that to achieve anything in life, in any field for that matter, not just agriculture, one needs to have exemplary skill. So I have been a proponent of skill building all the way, and always encouraged people to first learn in a small way and then, sort of scale up their operations. The reason I say that is because a lot of people in the world today, especially the new agricultural entrepreneurs, they all think that, a lot of technology is going to make plants grow. They all think high tech, they want everything high tech, they want everything automated. It's all fine. But the question is, how are we going to make people enter into this field if we raise the barrier to entry? Every farmer is not a millionaire. So we have been proponents of simple, very simple hydroponics. We ask people to start small, learn in the simplest way without compromising on certain factors. And we ask people to go through the grind, learn through small challenges that come during the crop cycle. If it's turmeric, it's 9 months. Other crops have their own crop cycle times. So the encouragement is given to people to fail. That means make mistakes in a small format so that you learn hard way. And then when you learn the hard way, you won't make the same mistakes again. So that has been our journey. Way back in 2020, in March 2020, around 11th of, I think, March, we had our first COVID lockdown. And I run my 90-day programs in India, and I train a lot of students. All the students had to go back home. And the government was very kind to say that people involved in agriculture can come out of their homes and work, obviously, because people have to grow food for the population. So I looked at it as a great opportunity for me because I could also leave my home, come back to my training center, and I decided that I'm going to actually work on turmeric. What happened was, interestingly, a friend of mine just sent me about 50 kilograms of turmeric, and he said, "CV, you can try it out in your training center." And at that point in time, I never thought that I'm going to actually move into something called research on turmeric. So what happened was all the students left for home. The training center was abandoned. Everyone had gone. All my students had gone. I was the only one left. So I said, "Chalo, let me do some research on turmeric." So I worked on a variety of turmeric called the Salem turmeric, which is one of the many varieties in India, which come mainly from South India, a place called Erode in Tamil Nadu state. So kept working on it and went very scientifically. I've always approached soilless agriculture very scientifically, and I put in more effort to put science into the whole thing. And I started to grow Salem turmeric. And every month I would do what is known as a root zone analysis to see what is happening below. Most often what happens is we all look at shoot zone and we never bother about what's happening in the root zone. But to be honest with you, the root zone is the key to most crops. If your root zone is healthy, your shoot zone will be healthy. Of course, they go through biotic and abiotic stresses, but keeping the root zone in the best manner, in the most healthy manner, is paramount. So every month I would do that root zone analysis. I was very happy with the progress. And to tell you all, I do not use any chemical pesticides ever since I got into this field 24 years ago. For that matter, I do not even know the names of chemical pesticides, except bar just a few like Mancozeb or Bavestin or something like that. That's because people have spoken so many times in front of me. Otherwise, mostly my way of growing has been as organic as possible. I use technical grade fertilizers. I use about 11 different salts that give about 13 elements that plants need, solid elements, other than the gaseous elements. And in the 6th month or the 6.5th month, I sent my turmeric for curcumin testing. And it was so interesting. This particular variety called Salem does not give more than 3% curcumin at any given time. And our Salem turmeric showed 5.91%, which is almost double the amount. And we were so happy. We continued growing the plants. And by the 9th month, we had achieved 8.65 kilograms in a single grow bag. So our way of growing plants is in soilless is mostly using coco peat as a media, which is one of the finest media that you can ever imagine for growing plants, and especially for turmeric, ginger, and root vegetables is just amazing. And no pesticide was used at all. Only microbes were used, beneficial bacteria was used, and everything was monitored. We have about 64 different parameters that I monitor throughout my research. So by the time we were in our 8.5, 9th month, we achieved 8.17 kilograms. And last year, one of our growers, one of my student growers, broke my record and grew 9.65 kilograms in one single grow bag. So you can see the layout here on the screen, which Rajiv is now showing. You can see the entire greenhouse. If you see the layout, if you look at the cleanliness, if you look at everything, it's like the ICU in a hospital. And one of the most important things that we give importance to is absolutely on hygiene, because 75% or 80% of the plant diseases are attributable to human oversight. So we give a lot of importance to hygiene, keep everything sterile as much as possible. The greenhouse should look more like a hospital or the ICU in a hospital. So you can see the plants here. They're so healthy. They're so nice. They're so well laid out. And we are very particular about standard operating procedures. We are very particular that farmers put in a lot of time with their plants and not look at growing plants in a synthetic manner. You got to have a lot of emotion to grow plants. That's why when I teach my students, I tell them that you got to see your plants through the eyes of a mother. Your plants are like your babies. They're like your children. And you got to nurture them like how you nurture children. So that is what I lay emphasis upon. A lot of my students, so after 2020, after getting our excellent result by December 2020 or so, we started something called Mission Turmeric, a privately started initiative in India without any government help or any external help. We started Mission Turmeric. We are now in our 4th year in Mission Turmeric. We've trained about 150 growers who join us on a WhatsApp group, and they come into a group. We encourage a lot of peer-to-peer learning, student-to-student learning. We make people go through challenges. We don't give answers so easily. We make the students to think. And then, so we prepare them for the first cycle of 9 months in a small format. So we got the 500 square feet format and a 1,000 square feet format. Some people, depending upon, again, their financial situation, they go for the 500 square feet because it's slightly less expensive. But those who do 1,000 square feet, they also have an advantage that they can actually try 2 or 3 or 4 different varieties in the 1,000 square feet. So people have done different varieties, and people ask me which is the right variety to grow. To be honest with you, we must grow what grows best in that region and grow it better. So the whole idea of doing this turmeric research was not to teach people how to grow turmeric. Turmeric has been grown in India for more than 5,000 years. And like Oliver said, India is the largest producer of turmeric in the world. We produce close to 80% of the world's turmeric. However, we do not actually grow world-class turmeric. When I say world-class turmeric, I mean clean turmeric, healthy turmeric, high in curcumin content, no heavy metal traces, no excessive pesticide residues because we don't use any chemical pesticide residue, I mean pesticides. And we've also got our 2020 research, what turmeric we got at Harvest. We got it tested at Eurofins in one of the famous laboratories of the world. We got it tested in Bangalore. It came out with some amazing, amazing results. We tested it for microbiological contamination, but it can never be zero. There can never be zero microbiology, but there was no bad microbes like coliforms, E. coli, and salmonella or any of those kind of things. The funniest part was, out of the entire harvest, what we got, there was not even 10 grams of rhizome which had rotted, which means most of our turmeric was saleable turmeric. That means it can be sold in the market. Now, that's a great news. Many people say that, the population of the world is increasing. We need to keep increasing the yield and all that. That's fine. We agree. But how about we look at it the other way? We reduce losses due to diseases and pests and other problems. Then also we can address, by reducing the wastage, we can address a growing population. So the turmeric, the pictures you see here, which Rajiv is showing you, and this gentleman is my student, that's exactly 9.65 kilograms of turmeric from a single grow bag. Unimaginable. So we are at the forefront of research. We do not stop researching further. And this is not only applicable to turmeric, but it's also applicable to ginger, because ginger is also from the same Gingiberaceae family. They have very similar requirements, except that their physiology is a bit different. The leaves are different. And what you get is different when you compare ginger to turmeric. But however, they belong to the same family. A lot of people think that by using poly houses or polyfilm tunnels or polyfilm structures, they can increase or get very good yield of turmeric. When we did the research, I did research in 3 formats. One in a net house, and in a net house in 3 formats again, in a green net house, in a black net house, a white net house. And the white one gave, the ones under the white shade house gave the maximum yield and quality. The other was absolutely growing in the open field, open to sun. The yields were much lower. And then there was the ones in the poly house. Again, there the yields were not as high as what we got in a net house. So this is good news, because turmeric and ginger are shade-loving plants. They love heat and humidity, and they are heavy feeders, and they like a lot of food. They don't know when to stop eating, and they just keep growing like crazy. So we have good news that we have all the, so many years of experience. And I won't say I'm an expert ever, but I have experience and I have some expertise, but I'm still learning. And when I got 8.17 kilograms, I was not happy with what I got. Normally, a farmer gets about 700 to 800 grams per plant in soil. We got 8.17, and later on a student got 9.65, which is humongous amount of yield, and it's more than 10 times the yield. So good news is that even if you have lesser amount of space, you can actually have more yield from that lesser space using this particular technology. Again, growing crop is not monofactorial. Some people say it's all about the nutrient. Some people say it's all about this, it's about that. It's not that way. Agriculture is a perfect science. It's not rocket science, but it's a perfect science. What we teach our students is, whenever you take action with a plant, whenever you take any action, you got to have some scientific reasoning behind it. There has to be science behind it. If you're not going to take any action and you're just going to observe the plant, even then you need to have a lot of there has to be science behind it, a reason behind it. So having said that, we are ready. We have proven it from lab to land, because a lot of research can happen in a laboratory, but more important is to take what you got from the lab, from the research findings, you take it to land and make it successful. We are very happy to say that in the year 2022, we had 2 engineers who were first-time farmers who learned from me on a 3-day program, and then I consulted for them for a project of about 0.75 acres or 3/4 of an acre. And they had 7,000 grow bags, And all these 7,000 grow bags, they produce close to 5 kilograms on an average per grow bag, which is like saying that almost 50 tons in an acre is what they could produce, being newcomers. But the only difference was that they were very diligent, they were very devoted, they were they showed a lot of perseverance, they struggled a lot. It was COVID times, things went wrong, they planted late, still they got this kind of result. But had they planted earlier, they would have possibly even reached 8 or 9 kilograms. Then we've had among the growers, I should just mention one of our growers broke my own record at 9.65. And again, 9.65 is not something that makes me happy. We can do better. So the whole idea of this coming together, and with Oliver says that there's a lot of potential for Kenya, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and all these countries. Yes, you do have very good climatic conditions. If we were to come together, and from our side as CV Hydro, we have three main verticals. One is skill building, which we've been doing for close to 18 years now. And I have trained in simplified hydroponics more than 16,000 students in India. And we have different formats of training. We have 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 7 day, 45 day, depending again on the crop and the cycle. We have had different kinds of training programs, and we're really happy, and we want to make changes, make tangible changes, something that people can see for themselves, which we have already done. We continue to do that, and I'm really thankful to Oliver for having given this opportunity to showcase what we have done. And again, coming to certain things, there are a lot of people who think that vertical farming of turmeric is going to produce a lot of turmeric. But to be honest with you, vertical farming of turmeric in 11 layers and 10 layers with 1 feet difference between the layers height-wise, you cannot grow turmeric like that. My plants in turmeric plants grow as high as 6.5 to 7 feet. And how do you grow plants at a 45-degree angle? And I know there are many vertical farms that came up in India. All of them failed. Not a single farm has had anything to say that, yes, they succeeded. So I would also ask my dear Kenyan brothers and sisters not to get carried away by these kind of things. What you need is not high tech, you need the right tech. And if you have the right tech, and if you do not blow up your money for no reason, you can still make money in soilless agriculture, and especially also in turmeric. We believe that turmeric should be grown in a horizontal fashion. If we can do 8 kilos in a grow bag, you're looking at 8,250 grow bags in an acre, and which means you can almost grow 64 tons of turmeric at the very least. So it is something that we have actually shown to the people. We want to bring out the truth about the science. We don't want people to get carried away by, hearsay or people hyping the whole thing. And one request that I always make to people is do not get carried away by hype. Don't get carried away by Excel sheets, people showing you dreams on a piece of paper, showing you return on investment, this blah, blah, blah. Be careful, do your due diligence. There's no harm in taking your time, learning in a small way, in a small format. And Oliver was saying that that's what he wants to do. He's very happy to hear that we do not ask people to go big in the first instance. He has understood where we come from, that we believe in skill building. We believe that we must take people, the farmers, on the path of truth and show them the right path. And based on the right path, we can create a revolution in Kenya and the neighboring countries there, of course, with your help. I'm here to help everybody, and I'm very excited about the prospects of coming to Kenya, doing a few training programs, and it's going to be my pleasure. I don't know when that will happen, but I think Oliver is working on it. But I'll be very, very happy to come, clear all your doubts, and sort of put you on the right track, and give you continuous support. Even if I'm back in India after training, I'm always happy to help all the growers, regardless whether they're from India or anywhere in the world. At the end of the day, we need farmers to eat food, and we need to remember a farmer 3 times a day. Unlike any other profession, we remember a chartered accountant once in a year. We remember a doctor maybe through 2 or 3 times in a year when we fall sick. but we need to remember the farmer 3 times a day. So having said that, I'm thankful to Oliver for giving this opportunity, and CV Hydro Bangalore, based in India and Australia. We're very happy to be embarking upon something really nice. We are here to take you on the, like I said, on the right path, show you the right way ahead, and teach you how to grow things in the simplest manner without complicating too many things. As a teacher, I do not use any jargon. I don't use any technological words which confuse people. My students have been from housewives, illiterate people, right up to even PhD holders and doctorates in different fields. So there's no problem about teaching. And luckily in Kenya, I'm told English is also spoken like we speak English in India. A lot of people do speak English, so that makes it even easy. So I'm looking forward to launching Mission Turmeric Kenya. And if you have any questions during this program, Rajiv will be doing all the master of ceremony work, and he will open the floor to all of you who are here to ask any number of questions that you want to. Those who are watching us on YouTube, they can also go back to Oliver, and Oliver, we can have another meeting where I can answer the questions of the farmers. So having said that, thank you very much. God bless, Godspeed, good luck. And from all of us in India, and on behalf of Rajiv, my director, who does a beautiful job as far as digital marketing is concerned, and social media, he looks after all my back end, but he does a great job. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you very much. Thanks, Oliver. Thank you, all my brothers and sisters in Kenya. Namaste, and look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, CV sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Rajiv.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for sharing your wonderful journey with all those who are watching right now, who are with us right now on this session on Zoom and on YouTube live streaming. Watching, I think it's a very inspiring journey. I always love to hear that from you. I mean, in so many events that we've been part of, and so many training programs that we've been together. I've been running with you on many programs, and I've been hearing this journey many times. And every single time when I hear your story, it is always inspiring. Thank you for doing that. And I think it's time for us to go through this little document that we have in front of you, and we can take one page at a time, or maybe I can just run you through on this document, and then we can proceed to Q&A. I know that we have about 3 people in this room with us. We have Oliver, we have Patrick with us. We had Mr. Naveen Patel also. Maybe he's busy, so he had to leave. So we can take some questions from Oliver and Patrick after just going through this document quickly, and I can educate all the people about what this document is all about, and then we can proceed to question and answers. So this is the brochure of this program that we are conducting in India since the last 4 to 5 years, since 2020. 2021 was the first year when we started conducting training programs in different format for soilless turmeric cultivation, other than the main training that CV sir conducts in India is a 90-day practical soilless training, hydroponics training at his training center in Bangalore. Other than that, because of this Eureka experience that CV sir had in 2020 with his journey of growing turmeric in the best way possible in 2020, and he was able to establish certain mind-blowing facts that there is going to be a world-class turmeric very soon. Everybody would start consuming it, and that journey has kick-started in 2021. And since then, in different formats, CV sir used to conduct training programs. We had online programs, we had 4-day, 5-day boot camp training programs, and then we also have something called as watch and learn program. And the main the main program of turmeric, focused on turmeric, is the long-term 9-month practical training program, where it's completely done by remote consulting, virtual consulting in India, where growers across India participate in 2 different sizes that are available, 500 square feet or 1,000 square feet. And they get the hand-holding support from CV Sir. They are part of a WhatsApp group which is available, which is active, and that all kinds of communication, all kinds of reporting happens in that WhatsApp group by pictures, videos, calls, and there is a very stringent reporting expectation from all the growers who join this program. There is something called as a 64 parameters reporting that needs to be done by each grower who is joining the program. So it's a most extensive turmeric program in the history of mankind, I would say, because there is no training program like this one around the world. And this is very unique. It is very effective. It's completely practical and well guided by CV Sir. So this is the brochure of that particular program. So this is the intro of CV Sir on the second page. And then we move on to some basic highlights of the journey that we had so far. Then we had the success story of farmers or growers who joined this program on a commercial level and also on a small format level. So this is the first success story in the document. And then we have a success story of a small format grower that is on this page. Then we have the third record-breaking success story, which was done by Praveen Kumar. He broke CV Sir's record of 8.17 kilos of turmeric that CV Sir grew, was able to harvest in 2020. And that record was broken by this gentleman who was able to harvest 9.65 kilos from a single grow bag. So that's another beautiful success story. And then we have the reasons for choosing Mission Haldrak, why you should be part of this mission. And then we have the opportunities that you get after completing this training program. So after completing this program, you can definitely look for commercial farming on a small scale to begin with, because at CV Hydro, like CV Sir says, everyone should start small, learn hard, skill up before you think of or to scaling up. So you can also become a seed rhizome supplier. That's another beautiful opportunity to bring your capital back home quicker than in any other opportunity, because seed is actually a very big problem around the world, and having more seed rhizome suppliers is the need of this time that we're going through. So that is another opportunity for people who complete this program. Value-added products like turmeric latte, turmeric pickle, etc. Those are value-added products of, and like turmeric tea, like Oliver mentioned, Dawa turmeric tea, that is a value-added product which you can look into. You can also look into exporting turmeric and ginger. So these are the opportunities after completing this training program. Then we have a little bit of overview about what is Mission Haldrak Soilless Turmeric and Ginger Growers Program. So basically, it's literature that will give you a complete awareness and what you need to know to get into this world of soilless turmeric cultivation. All those who are watching us live on YouTube, you can definitely get access to all kinds of literature that we have at CV Hydro. All you need to do is just reach out to us. You can write to us at cv@cvhydro.com.au. You can write to me at rajiv@cvhydro.com.au. If you want to get in touch with me on WhatsApp, my number is 88799 89999. I'm always available on WhatsApp. You can just say hi, and if you want to access any of this information, any literature, you can reach out to me. So this page covers how to join program instructions. So I'm going to quickly move into this, the main stuff that most people would like to know, that what you get from CV Hydro in terms of this program. So like I mentioned, the training and consulting is remote. You get a set of video bundles, recorded video bundles. You're part of a WhatsApp growers group. You also get CV Sir's hand-holding and remote consulting support, where he guides you and helps you with any problems that you come across. To execute that this program, you need materials for sure, and this is the list of materials that you will be given once you join this program. All the figures here are in US dollars, and this is the total material cost comes to $364.32 for a 50 square meter. In India, we call it as 500 square feet. It's a pilot training, or we can call it learning R&D project, which you can start at your own location with our support. Then we have the next size or next plan, which is for 100 square meter, where in India we call it 1,000 square feet. And the total cost comprises of two components. One is the material cost, and the other component is the consulting fees for almost a year. We normally get the enrollment started by the beginning of January, and up until harvest, or maybe the lab reporting, like if you are harvesting and sending it to your lab for getting the reports done. Until that point in time, this program is active. So for almost an entire year, there is a consulting support, and CV Sir's positive energy goes into your growth and the transformation of turmeric that you're growing using soilless methodology. So that attracts a consulting fee, and you also have to pay for certain materials. So that's about this these tables that show up. Then we also have a new plan on the request of Oliver. We got this made for 500 square meter, so that's 5,000 square feet in India, and this can also be taken up if you are interested to do it on a slightly bigger pilot project or pilot space. Then you can go for 500 square meter. Now there are certain exclusions that you will have to arrange at your own level, and I think in Kenya, Oliver would be the right person to get these sourced. And these exclusions some of them are available online, some of them are available locally, and Oliver would be the right contact to help you get all of this materials that are under exclusions, like for example buying seed rhizome material, setting up a shade net house. You would need plastic tubs for hydration, buckets, mugs, pH and EC meter, that those are available online, magnifying glass. So stuff like these, we don't provide them to the participant in this program. We request the participant, the student, to arrange at their own level, at their own cost. So that's about this document, which contains a lot of information which is needed to know to join this program. You can access this document by reaching out to me, as I mentioned. My number is 88799989999, and I'm going to stop the sharing of screen here, and now we can move into questions. I'm going to look at Oliver to begin with, to see if he would like to start off the Q&A session with the questions that he has in his mind, or maybe if he would like to ask questions on behalf of the people and the network that he is representing in Kenya. Maybe he's interacting with a lot of farmers, so a lot of farmers would also have many questions. They must be very curious. Like he mentioned earlier, there are people who are not even aware of curcumin and turmeric. So let's look at those questions from Oliver to begin with. We also have Patrick with us. So Oliver, I leave this open to you now to kickstart with this Q&A session.
Thank you very much, and much appreciated. I'm very, very excited about the presentation. And I know my people who are on YouTube live and the ones who are with me in my office are very excited. So let me question this on behalf of many curious farmers, because they know ginger, but they don't know turmeric. So they know turmeric, but to me, I've been promoting curcumin. So because curcumin has got a different color and turmeric has got a different color, CV, I would like you to just give a summary on curcumin and turmeric.
Well, when you look at the value addition of turmeric, most often, I mean, for thousands of years in India, it's been mostly for, producing turmeric powder and for cosmetic use. Turmeric has been used for these two purposes mainly, and also for religious purposes, especially in the Hindu religion. They use a lot of turmeric. They are offered to their deities and things like that in India. So mainly this has been the value addition so far. But over the years, yes, even in India, it's only now there are farmers who grow turmeric who have never realized that turmeric has something called curcumin in it, and they have been quite blind to this thing called curcumin. But now people are understanding what it is, and they're also understanding that there are a lot of nutraceutical and pharmaceutical companies around the world that produce curcumin capsules and tablets and what have you. So they are getting more knowledge about it, and they are moving into those varieties that can produce more curcumin, so they also get a better remuneration in the market. So, to be honest with you, it's about curcumin alone. It's all kinds of value-added products, and the varieties. It's the funny part is like any other crop, even in turmeric, just because a variety of turmeric gives you a lot of curcumin in a particular location, it does not necessarily mean that even after you do put all the science into growing, that you should get more curcumin or is equal curcumin in your location, because location, environment, all these things matter. We have in the northeast of India a state called Meghalaya. In Meghalaya, they have a wonderful variety of turmeric called the Lakadong variety. It gives about 8 to 9% curcumin content. But again, the difference is it grows mostly in not hot and humid conditions, but it grows mostly in cooler and humid conditions. So cold and humid has its own, uh, traits, and then you have what you call hot and humid. So we got to understand when you try to grow turmeric in any part of the world, you got to grow a variety that grows in a similar location if possible. So this journey into Kenya with turmeric can be very interesting because we can try out various varieties of turmeric that come from India in Kenya. And then we can come to a conclusion and do a complete lab report at the end of 9 months. We can take about 10 or 15 or 20 varieties to the lab, get it tested, and understand what grows best in Kenya. It's not just if you want curcumin, to be honest with you, curcumin content is not, from my understanding and my research, curcumin content is not highest when it's at the time of harvest. It is generally around 6.5 to 7 months when the curcumin content is very, very high. So again, if you were to look only for the curcumin content, then it's a trade-off between yield as well. So if you were to harvest your turmeric when the curcumin content is very high, obviously the size of the turmeric may not have reached a level where the yield will be higher. So there is a trade-off out there. Having said that, there is anything to do with turmeric, any type of turmeric, any kind of turmeric, like we have curcuma aromatica. Curcuma aromatica is a ginger which is grown for cosmetic purposes. So, like that, different turmeric varieties have also got their own nuances, their characteristics, and they have their own individual markets for it. So, turmeric, when we say turmeric, we're talking of turmeric powder, and though that does not necessarily have a lot of curcumin content, but it's more used for cooking or it's used in cosmetics or those kind of things. But when you're looking at curcumin as such, then of course it's a different ball game, and we have to choose those varieties. So it again depends on what are we targeting. I would suggest for Kenya that we look at all kinds of things. I mean, let's look at it from the cosmetic angle, from the medicinal angle. Let's look at it from the cooking or the culinary angle. At the end of the day, turmeric is an amazing plant. It's a wonder plant. And just to give you an example, when COVID happened all over the world, India with such a large population of 1.4 billion people, if you look at the size of our population and the number of people who actually succumb to COVID, it's really nothing. One of the reasons for that is that in India, we consume a lot of turmeric, in the sense we consume turmeric almost on a daily basis in our food. There is not a single day that passes when we would have not put some turmeric into our food, into our cooking. And then pepper. Pepper is another thing. So for curcumin to be well absorbed by our body, we need to have pepper along with it. Because that is the catalyst which actually allows the curcumin to be taken up by the body. So there are so many things that we can keep talking about curcumin. So turmeric, curcumin comes from turmeric plant. So again, like you asked me, what is the difference between turmeric and curcumin? There's really, this is what it is. So if you're looking at curcumin for extraction, it's a different thing. But otherwise, anything to do with turmeric is useful. Even the leaves of the turmeric plant in India, in some parts of India, people actually cook certain sweet meats. Certain people even steam fish in the young leaves or the fresh leaves of turmeric. It gives out a lot of aroma. So the we are only limited by the imagination. When you look at it, we're just limited by our own imagination. We can do so many things with turmeric, turmeric tea, latte, turmeric oil, turmeric that, turmeric this. It's an endless world of turmeric. So we can look at different things, different verticals in turmeric. And I assure you that whoever produces whatever amount of turmeric in Kenya or India or wherever in the world, there is a market for it. The most important thing is that we need to produce really high quality turmeric with zero heavy metal traces, with no chemical pesticide residue. Otherwise, just consuming turmeric, which is already, contaminated, is of no use, because it goes against the very principles of having good quality turmeric. So, like, for example, just to let everyone know here, the turmeric which you see in the market, like even in India, when you go to buy turmeric powder, the powder is shining, it's just shining. But original turmeric doesn't have that shine or the glaze in it. It's because there are reports that in Bangladesh, in India, there are a lot of people who actually add lead oxide. Lead is a poison, it's a heavy metal, and they add that to make the turmeric powder shine. So we have to produce turmeric which is original, which is healthy, which is free of all kinds of microbiological contamination, free of heavy metal traces, free of pesticide residue, and what have you. And yes, if it has high curcumin content, well, you're in business. So having said that, this is my little answer to your question, Oliver. We can discuss more when I come to Kenya at some point. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You've just given us a highlight of our meeting today: turmeric and curcumin. Now, let me throw another question, which will be burning, and I know we have only 8 minutes for our time to be up, and I know you will extend it to another 10 minutes discussion. Many people will want to know that the grow bag, soilless farming on a grow bag, how much weight of seed material for germination to produce 8 kilos or 5 kilos, and then the ratio between the wet rhizomes to dry, because many people will want preserve to do for their own use, and because I'm going to give out contracts for farmers to grow so that I can take it to the market. And you just shared with me earlier, the world market price for turmeric is between $3 to 1.5. So I would like you to give us some small mathematics for our layman to understand that if you have 1 kilo of wet turmeric, to dry it, to what will you get at the end? Because people want to do a value. I will grow 500 feet or 50 meters square, 100 meters square of this weight. Let's say I'm giving an example. I will produce wet 1 ton. How much is dry to go to market? So that from there, it will be good mathematics for the farmer to understand this is what I'm putting in and this is what I'm getting out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So to answer your question, Oliver, first question you asked me was how much of turmeric rhizome, seed rhizome, that we need to put into 1 grow bag, number one. So to give you an honest answer, in the first time that I did my research and development, I actually, during COVID, there was no way to get bigger grow bags and those kind of things. There was no supplies. All the logistics was affected. So I put about 60 grams of rhizome when I say 60 grams, it's not just single rhizome, it could be 2 or 3 pieces of rhizome that add up to 60 grams. I put 60 grams into the grow bag, in a smaller grow bag. And in my research, I understood that when I got 8.17 kilograms, the turmeric actually broke through the grow bags. They tore through the grow bags. And had they had more freedom to grow, they would have given much more yield compared to 8.17. So having said that, what I did was when I launched Mission Turmeric in 2021, on the back of my success in what I did, I increased the size of the grow bag by almost 30% or 40%. And my grow bags are 12-inch by 12-inch by height of 24-inch. And I used 120 grams of rhizome now, so that I can definitely get much better yield from a single grow bag. And that is how this gentleman you see on the screen, Praveen, grew 9.65 by putting in 120 grams of rhizome, seed rhizome. So that is one question. And the other question that you were asking is the wet and the dry rhizome ratio. Now you must understand that when it's wet, the rhizomes are heavier, and the recovery rate, we call it wet to dry recovery ratio. It can be sun dried, dried in the sun, and then it's polished in a roller drum. There's a polishing drum. So depending on which variety of turmeric you're growing from any part of the world, India has about 50 to 60 varieties of turmeric. So the wet to dry recovery ratio is anywhere between 18 to 22%. So assuming that it's 20%, if you were to get 1,000 kilograms of turmeric, wet turmeric after harvest, when you dry it, it would end up as 200 kilograms of dry turmeric. So that is the ratio. When you sell it as wet turmeric, you do not get a great price like what you might get for 1 kg of dried turmeric or polished turmeric. However, there is another area where people can make good money is to sell the wet rhizome or the harvested rhizome as seed rhizomes, and that has better value than when you sell it just as a raw material in the market. So like this year, for example, in India, in one of our very big markets for turmeric, the turmeric went for about 63,000 Indian rupees for 1 quintal, that is for 100 kilograms. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but this year it was at that level. So it's all about the quality, it's about the grading, it's about what you're giving to the people. And if you can match it up with lab reports, that makes even more difference, because today people are willing to pay $5 extra, $1 extra, just if something is truthful, if you're honest about it. So there is so these are the two answers. One is the rhizomes that we plant is 120 grams in a grow bag, and they need not be, as I said, a single piece of turmeric. They can be 2 or 3 pieces. It doesn't have to be exactly 120 grams. It can be plus minus 5 or 10 grams. It doesn't matter. And the other thing is that wet to dry recovery ratio can be, depending on variety, can be anywhere between 18 to 22%, which means if it's 100 kg, you can get about 18 kilograms or up to 22 kilograms as dry turmeric. So that's the answer for it, Oliver. Hope that helps.
Thank you very much, CV. I know we only have 2 minutes.
No, don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time.
Yeah. It's unfortunate many people didn't manage to get through Zoom, but I know we're going to throw many questions through our platform on WhatsApp, and I know your team will share the email for anybody who has got a very burning question. But not to close, but to sum up, because turmeric is a very new venture in Kenya for farming community, and we do a lot of it in Uganda with my friend Ranjit and up north. I would like, because here on the focus today is soilless farming, and I want to insist for my people to understand vertical farming and horizontal farming, because we need that clarification, because it makes the word hydroponic look very expensive. And you insisted we might want to make it very simple for people to adapt. So some members in this my platform have already purchased starter kits, the rhizomes. So as they're going to grow in the ground, I would like now some of them to pick what they've gotten into bags. Now, you've given us a very indicative figure of 120 grams per bag, per grow bag. So my question would be to support this venture. What is your experience in Australia? What is your experience in other countries apart from India, Brazil, Canada, America, so that we can give a comparison if we look at how we are going to grow soilless farming, hydroponic farming, without the word vertical and with the word horizontal. Any experience on those other countries?
Australia I mean, ginger has grown definitely. Like in Kenya, you grow ginger. Turmeric is absolutely new. And I spent 6 months there meeting a lot of ginger farmers and other farmers and trying to, sort of educate them and sensitize them to the fact that they can also grow great turmeric in Australia. Because Australia has, especially towards the state of Queensland and Northeast, they have a very good weather, which is more tropical weather. And it's something that ginger and turmeric really love. So I was trying to basically tell people to, also try turmeric. It's only in its very nascent stage. It's we cannot say that somebody has succeeded and, done something path breaking out there yet. But wherever I go, if I see that the weather conditions or the climatic conditions are ideal for turmeric or ginger, I make it a point to, tell people, why don't you grow this? This has got a lot of, medicinal value and this and that. So to be honest, my main experience, if to say where I've seen results, is my country in India. And like I said, all that I need is people to say, CV, come and help us out, teach us how to do it. And I'm always happy. I'm a teacher, and I'm a very serious teacher at that, quite a no-nonsense teacher. And because I want my students to learn, and I don't allow them to, take shortcuts. But at the same time, I like to see them successful. So when you talk about vertical, unfortunately, this word vertical turmeric farming became so hyped up that people got crazy about it. People started saying that what you grow in 100 acres, you can grow in 1 acre. It's not correct. You cannot grow turmeric in vertical farming. And these vertical farms had 11 layers and 9 layers with 1 feet difference in vertical height. They were trying to grow the turmeric 45-degree angle. It goes against the very science of what they call in agriculture as phyllotaxy. Every leaf has to have a certain angle towards the sun. You cannot force a plant to be at 45 degrees and expect it to grow. What about the light levels? The light levels are so low that there is no photosynthesis. The most important thing in turmeric and ginger, for that matter, the first 4 to 4.5 months has to be a lot of photosynthesis. There has to be a lot of radiation, total solar radiation, so that the plants create their own amino acids, sugars, and various things by way of photosynthesis. And after 4.5, 5 months, it starts to send all that food down for rhizome growth. So how are we expecting vertical farms with hardly any light, with hardly any chance for air circulation between the plants, stale air, creating microclimates, diseases, and being a haven for pests and various other problems? It's actually something that's people just created that kind of a hype, and now I'm quite shocked to know that even in places like Kenya, was quite far away from India, people got excited by this whole thing. In India, a lot of people got excited by vertical farming. They've lost millions and millions of dollars in equivalent. If you put it down in dollars, they've lost a lot of money. I know several people who have lost money. So I will never encourage anyone to go for vertical turmeric farming. For that matter, in countries where you get almost like in India, we get 10.5 hours of average sunlight throughout the year. One would be mad to just say bye-bye to the sun and start putting in vertical farming and with LED lighting and those kind of things. That's not the way to do farming. You got to do farming in a very simple manner, not Rolls Royce farming. And even if it's Rolls Royce, it has to have some science in it. There's no science in vertical farming of turmeric. I would definitely and vehemently tell people, please don't get carried away by this vertical farming bit. If you are able to get 50, 40, 50, 60 tons in an acre in horizontally simple grow bag farming, I think there is no need for anyone to really blow up his money, lose his money for no rhyme or reason. Because whether it's my money or your money, money is money, it's hard earned. And especially there are people who have sold their properties to go into vertical farming of turmeric. And today they don't have, neither do they have turmeric, nor do they have the money. And they don't even have their land with them. So I would suggest that people keep away from this kind of hoax. I would call it a hoax, or even for that matter, a Ponzi scheme, just fooling people left, right, and center. And most of the people who talk about vertical farming or try to do vertical farming projects for others, they have never grown vertically in their own life. They have never grown a plant in their own life. They just sort of put powder and throw dust in the eyes of hapless people and make money. So I would request all my Kenyan brothers, sisters, all of you who are interested in farming turmeric, there's much simpler methods to do it. And even if you don't get into soilless farming, because if you think that that's a barrier to entry, I'm here to help you even in soil. I'll tell you how to do it. So I'm always with you. And Oliver, you can bank on me for that. There's no issues at all. Because for me, taking the farmers on the right path is my mission, not just making money out of people's tears. So Rajiv knows that very well. So we always follow that, and we will follow that always and now and in times to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've been very, very useful in this meeting. And I know when you come to Nairobi in August, God willing, we will have a very big team coming to follow you, to sign autobiography. And because we have so many people who are youth in Kenya, and so many people who are jobless in Kenya, and there are also people who want to make a hobby. What idea do you have that people can have the extra turmeric that I'm not going to pick on my contract because I'm going to give out contract farming? The extra, what can they do with cottage industry? Because we know in India, we have got cottage industry, and somebody can do something small to take it to the kiosk or sell to the friends, something that is exciting. So what do you have an idea of something that somebody can do at home to create money?
Yeah, I mean, see, when I spoke about turmeric, I also mentioned about turmeric latte and those kind of things. Like you talk about a particular tea, dawa tea or something like that. So in India, at a very home level, people who like my mom, here in Kerala, in my state in India, which is hot and humid. My mom has also grown some turmeric, a little bit of turmeric, but what she does is she can't sell it and make money out of it. So what she does is she makes pickles out of it, or she makes a jam out of it, or something like that. And yes, people can actually make, money is not in selling the raw material, as you know. In food industry, raw material, when transformed into post-processed product, that's where the money is really. Look at tomato ketchup, for example. Tomato ketchup is made from the worst tomatoes you can ever imagine. But when you get it in a bottle and it's branded and there's a lot of advertising behind it, we enjoy the tomato ketchup so much. But the truth is, it's not the best tomato that is being used for making those ketchups. Maybe sauces, yes, but not ketchups for sure. So there are a lot of opportunities for people to do it as a cottage industry. Even if there are some small villages where people grow maybe 10 plants each, they can all pull in the resources. They can all create a small little village brand, and and sell it in the local markets and things like that. You can make a lot of different things with turmeric if you really think about it. So there are ways and means to find. I mean, there are various things you can do, and food is such an interesting thing. You can use ginger in a million ways. Like you can use similarly, you can use turmeric in a million ways. Cheese, you can do so many things with different kinds of cheese. So there are lots of opportunities for such people as well. And it is not that somebody has to definitely have a lot of money to be able to do it. We can even encourage people to grow even 5 or 10 plants at home. That's not a problem, and we can definitely find something for them. And I see a lot of opportunity there, Oliver.
Thank you. Let's go back to your team. If there's any questions coming online, I think I don't want to take a lot of time asking questions, but I know a question will ban. We still have another 40 minutes, 20 minutes, which have been added by your team. Let's see if we have any questions online that you can answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, CV sir, for sharing all the answers to these questions from Oliver. And I do not see any questions on the YouTube comments. So if you guys are listening, all those who are watching on YouTube live streaming, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions in the comments or in the chat room that is open. The live chat is there for you to ask your questions. And we can pick that question in the next 20 minutes. So you've got 20 minutes to drop those questions. And I know there is a lag between the streaming, the live and the streaming video out there. So don't worry, if your questions are there, we will definitely answer those questions again. So coming back to this session here with Oliver and Patrick, I would like to look at Patrick to see if Patrick has any questions. Patrick, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask questions.
I'm thinking Patrick might be having a challenge to connect because might apologize because Zoom is a heavy internet user because we are used to the Google Meet, and that can be a challenge because very few people even had a challenge to join in because it's not complicated like Google Meet. But anyway, I know he will bear with me that I can try and ask another question, which is much more technical and which will be some light to our people. Now, because of the many people in the pharmaceutical and the nutraceutical industry that they're picking material for medicine, I would like CV to give us your experience in India of the Ayurveda, it's called Ayurveda medication, because many of our Kenyan people, they fly into India for medication, especially for arthritis, for blood pressure and all this kind of thing. So I'd like you to give us just a brief on the medicinal value of turmeric, and do the doctors prescribe turmeric for blood pressure, turmeric for arthritis, turmeric for etc., so that we come out of the midst of the medical fraternity and the Ayurveda fraternity, because we don't want to have an issue with the WHO saying that this is a cure for COVID or etc. Thank you.
You see, Oliver, to be honest with you, the medical fraternity in India, especially the allopathic line of medicine, they do not normally prescribe, not just turmeric, but they don't even prescribe you any herbs or spices or any of these things beside what they do as part of their profession. And I mean, I don't find any fault in that because that's the way it is. Having said that, India has a lot of alternative medicine and a lot of medicine that's been there way beyond the times of allopathy. And most of our countrymen, we speak Ayurveda very naturally, actually, in India. It's part of our DNA. For example, if I have a throat pain, my mother would say, smash some ginger, make some tea and, have it, or put some honey and this and that and have it. I mean, at a very basic level and a very simple level in India, we speak Ayurveda as if it's in our genes, that kind of a thing. Various, I mean, definitely one cannot, say that anything like herbs and spices have no medicinal value. But the only problem is there are, what to say, in those good old times about 1,000, 5,000 years ago, there was no way to, record the data and do those kind of clinical trials on people and come out with things. Although now they are trying to do that in a large way over the last maybe 50, 100 years. So there is definitely great, what you call power in all of these kind of things like ginger and turmeric and various other spices. And only thing is, it's not. It is still, at that level. It's at the Ayurveda level mainly in India, where the Ayurvedic doctors, they don't prescribe turmeric as such. They have various kind of concoctions, and there are certain diseases where they say one herb, one disease. I mean, one herb can cure one disease. So it's a very large ocean out here. But to be honest with you, nobody prescribes it as just have turmeric and you'll be fine or something like that. But there are concoctions that, and they of course encourage people to definitely have turmeric as part of the diet, and various other herbs and like curry leaves, for example. Everything has got something in it. I mean, there is no plant in the world that exists on this planet without a purpose. It's just that we still are only slowly understanding and finding out what is good for us. And what we once thought was a weed today is not a weed, it's a medicinal plant. So there is a lot of push for in India and definitely around the world. I'm told after COVID, the demand for curcumin in the world went up to almost 25-30%, and it's only growing all the time. So definitely there is a lot of potential for this particular plant like turmeric. But to be honest with you, nobody prescribes it as just, have turmeric alone. They ask you to have it as part of your diet along with many other things. So yeah, that's how it is at the moment. And definitely turmeric has been like a miracle plant for quite a number of centuries now, to say the least. And there is high potential. Yes, it has got anti-inflammatory properties. It's got antiseptic properties. It's got crazy amount of properties, and even it also takes care of a lot of stomach problems, and the problems that start with your stomach. So having turmeric has its own advantages. But to be honest with you, unless and until we do a lot of clinical research and sort of collect data and stuff like that, it'll still continue to be, sort of people will always have something to say about it, against it or whatever. But definitely, I would think that for the last 5,000 years in India, it's our turmeric and our ginger and our medicinal plants that we consume as part of our cooking and are eating every day. That's why we definitely, as Indians, we have a lot of immunity, and COVID did not get most of us. The people who actually succumbed to COVID were people with, other problems like heart and blood pressure or diabetes and those kind of things, comorbidities as they call them. But to be honest with you, we have had slums in India, which are some of the biggest slums in the world, and we did not have any cases of COVID there. So I think, yes, to say the least, it's not, there's no fight going on here in India between allopathic doctors or anyone, but each one has his own belief, and we consume it with a lot of faith and trust in that particular plant. So yeah, that's pretty much my answer.
Thank you very much. Let's go back to your team because we only have 10 minutes so that you can do a recap and a sum. Then way forward after this, perhaps we give back to the other gentleman. Thank you.
Rajiv.
Yeah. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, sir, once again, for sharing that wonderful answer. There was a lot of information and a lot of knowledge that is normally not spoken in the mainstream about the natural Ayurveda, or how Ayurveda comes so naturally to Indians in our daily life. I know there's a lot of alternative medicine that is now spoken about in the internet era. Like people at home can definitely consume a pinch of turmeric in their tea, or maybe, like you said, smash a ginger and make a hot cup of tea if you are feeling cold or if you're having some cough. But it's never prescribed. It's sad to hear that it's never prescribed, but it is there. It is existing. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I think we are done with some good list of questions, and we'll come back to summarizing the whole purpose of this session that we're conducting. This was an open session for all the respected VIPs and citizens of Kenya who are interested and passionate about turmeric as a crop. If they are interested to grow using soilless farming techniques, soilless methodologies, they need to first focus on skills. They need to learn how to grow that. And that is why Oliver and CV sir connected, and we set up this program. And I think very soon Oliver would be facilitating a nice little in-person program for Kenyans, and CV sir would be conducting that training out there in the month of August. So looking forward to a lot of participation. I would like to see a massive participation by Kenyans who would like to venture into the world of soilless farming, focusing on one particular amazing crop, which is turmeric. And I mean, some people call it as turmeric also. So turmeric is a very, very, very magical plant. So it's great that if there are a lot of interested people in Kenya who are interested in growing turmeric, then you have reached the right people. Oliver is the man in Kenya, in Africa, and the resourceful person, the technical, the Maverick guru of soilless farming in India since 2008 is Lieutenant Commander CV Prakash ji, and he would give you the proper roadmap to enter and explore the world of soilless farming. So that was the purpose of this particular session. We are happy that a lot of you are able to enjoy this session on the live streaming on YouTube. I know, unfortunately, many people were not able to join the Zoom session because of connectivity or any technical challenges that they had to go through. But this video, this live streaming will be available on YouTube, and we will be sharing the links with you. You can always come back and watch this talk. And I hope that you will take away a lot of meaningful stuff from this session. And now I would like to request CV sir to speak a few words, and let's have a parting shot or a thank you note. Sir, I'll throw this open to you to conclude the session.
Rajiv, thank you so much. You really conducted this whole program so beautifully. And can you hear me, Rajiv?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I'm so thankful to Oliver, who's putting in a lot of effort to do revolutions in farming in Africa. I think he hardly sleeps because, half the time, even early in the morning at 6, when I know it's 2 hours, they have 2 hours behind us, he's still awake and he answers questions. So I really wonder when he really sleeps. So, I see a lot of similarities between the kind of work I do and I continue to do. And I see a lot of, bandwidth. I mean, we are on the same wavelength to a large extent. Oliver is sincerely doing what he can to better the lot of the farmers in his country, as much as I would want or I do for my countrymen as well. And both of us are very much on the same path. And we together we can do wonders. We can really, really create this revolution in Kenya. And I'm not only restricted to turmeric and ginger, by the way. I have expertise in several types of crops, wine crops, leafy crops, and we could even try things like cassava in soilless farming, and we can try sweet potatoes for that matter, which Africa is quite famous for. Yeah. And we can look at a lot of tuber crops for that matter, and sky is the limit. We are only, as I said, limited by our imagination. We can do wonders in this field, and we need to help the farmers and make money, because in my understanding, all over the world, everybody makes money except the farmer. The guy who supplies fertilizer makes money. The guy who supplies the inputs makes money. Everybody makes money except the farmer. So in my lifetime, it's my dream to see that farmers actually start to make some money, and they see the fruit of their work. And farmer doesn't have a holiday like others. There's no Saturday and Sunday for a farmer. And I myself work every single day of my life. I don't take a single day's break. I enjoy what I do. And I would like to take my passion into Kenya. I would like to spread what I know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert, because if I say I'm an expert, then my evolution is over. I'm not learning anymore. I put myself 2 out of 10 even today after so many years in this field, and I'm learning like anyone else. And I'm at the same time, when I talk about soil farmers, there are some soil farmers who are just amazing. They may be illiterate, but they really, really have a great connection to their plants. And there are so many things I have actually learned over. Here's raising a toast to every farmer, not just in India, not just in Kenya, but for every farmer in the world. I raise a toast and I say cheers to everyone. I think we can make this world a better place. Together we can uh, go miles. Individually we can walk very less, but together we can walk much more. So let's work as a team. I promise you that everything that I can do to make things better, teach people. I love teaching. I like to see people succeed. And that's what makes me happy. That's my adrenaline, to be honest with you. So thank you everyone who's been watching this video. I mean, this on the YouTube or wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you in Kenya. And I don't mind spending a few weeks there, trying to help all of you, put you on the right path, give you hope more than anything else, that agriculture, there is money in agriculture. It's a profession. It's a very noble profession, and you will get there. So having said that, once again, namaste to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Oliver. And thank you, Patrick. I see that you're the only other Kenyan gentleman here. And thank you, Rajiv, for having conducted this program like you do always, and you always done a great job. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Godspeed. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Oliver to give us a parting shot and thank you note to all of us and all those who are watching on YouTube.
Thank you very much, team from India. It has been a very exciting moment to learn from you, CV, because many people here understand their soil. People have invested in land, but now I'm seeing there's a revolution that we can also have people in the urban to invest in this concept because of the space of 50 square meter to start, 100 square meter, and 500 square meter. So my parting shot is this way. Looking at this farming of turmeric, and you've just added ginger, and you've added perhaps we try our roots and all this kind of thing. So it means we can bring in farming to medicine, farming to nutraceuticals, and the youth that are in Africa can use these small spaces to grow food and to grow the nutraceuticals. I would love if the members who are listening, they can make a contribution and time to come to the next meeting that we're going to have in August, a physical meeting in Korat, Africa. I'm mentioning the name because we already started a program with Korat Africa. There's a accommodation facility there, and there's a hall for training where we are going to invite CV. We're also going to bring in the financial institutions, like the banks, to support in financial support for people who want to take up loans. And we will take them through. We also have a team that is trying to study very hard on agronomy. And with the support of CV, we're going to have an agronomy team to support the people who are going to invest in the starter kits, and also the people who want to learn more on also value addition. And when they want to set up industry, we also have the incubation model with Kirdi, a government institution, which have already been incubated before. So right now I'm not an incubatee, and I would like people to join and then see how they can be also supported by the Kenya government, because Kenya government is very keen on health, education, and also agriculture. So with that, I will also say namaste. Thank you very much, team. We should be meeting again next Saturday for another program, and also August for a physical meeting whereby I'm working very hard for CV to be in Nairobi, even to see the animals. I know we have got the tigers of India. We would like you to see our lions in the den. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Oliver. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Oliver. Wonderful. It was wonderful connecting with you here. And I'm looking forward to see the synergy between CV Hydro, Agro Tunnel, Oliver, CV Sir coming together, and this new journey that is going to start in Kenya and the rest of Africa. I think I can't wait to see that thing happen very soon. So I wish both of you a very, very, very good luck and many more great things to happen onwards and upwards. So signing off, thank you to both of you.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all our viewers who are watching patiently, and I hope you enjoyed this session. We will connect again. We'll see you again. Have a wonderful evening. Signing off. Bye for now.
Bye from India.